Dear students, welcome back to a new mathematics session. In today's session, we shall discuss the remaining questions of the miscellaneous exercise from the chapter Relations and Functions. Let's move on to the topic. Miscellaneous exercise, 7th question we have to discuss. Given examples of two functions f from n to n and g from n to n such that GOF is onto but f is not onto. We have to give two examples of functions, say f and g, and both are defined from n to n, and we have to keep in mind that g composition f is not onto but f is onto. So let's define the functions. Let f from n to n be f of x is equal to x plus 1. With the function f we are taking as x plus 1, and another function g that is defined from n to n, and it is defined as g of x is equal to x minus 1 if x greater than 1, g of x is equal to 1 if x is equal to 1. So these are the two examples we have taken, and now we have to prove that f is not onto as well as g composition f is onto. First of all, let's prove that f is not onto. For that, let's take a Venn diagram, and the function is defined from n to n. Let it be f, and as we know that natural numbers in the domain is having numbers 1 to 3 etc., and in the codomain also natural numbers, and the elements are again 1 2 3 etc. And if you give 1 as input, we will get the output as 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And if you give 2, 2 plus 1 3 is the output, and if you give 3, 3 plus 1 4 is the output, and so on. And if we check the codomain, the element 1 is not having any preimage in the domain. So element 1 is not having any preimage in the domain, therefore the function is not onto. So let's write it. Consider element 1 in codomain n. This element is not an image of any one of the elements in domain n, therefore f is not onto. Now next is g composition f such that n to n it is defined. G composition f of x. G composition f of x means g of f of x, that is equal to g of f of x. F of x we know that it is x plus 1. So g of x plus 1 it is written, that is equal to x plus 1 minus 1. Of course g of x plus 1 it is greater than 1. If x greater than 1 means we have to take the function as x minus 1. So we have to remove x and put the value x plus 1. So x plus 1 minus 1, that is equal to x. So g composition f of x is equal to x we have got. For proving onto, we know that we have to prove that f of x is equal to y. Here g composition f of x we have got as x. So for y element of n, there x is equal to y element of n such that GOF of x is equal to y we have got. So the statement for proving onto is true here. Therefore, we can say that g composition f is onto. Next, we shall discuss question number 8. The question is, given a non-empty set x, consider p of x, which is a set of all subsets of x. Define the relation R in p of x as follows. For subsets A, B in P of x, A comma B in P of x, A or B means A related to B if and only if A is a subset of B. Is R an equivalence relation on P of x? Justify your answer. Here, define the relation R in P of x as follows. For subsets A comma B in P of x means set of all subsets of x. So A comma B in P of x, A or B means A is related to B if and only if A is a subset of B. If A is a subset of B only, we can say A is related to B. We have to check whether the relation is equivalence or not. For checking the equivalence relation, first of all we have to check whether the relation is a reflexive, symmetric or transitive. If these three conditions satisfies, then we can say that the relation is an equivalence relation. First of all, let's write the given condition. A or B, A is related to B means A is a subset of B. And here for subsets A comma B in P of x means P of x means relation in the sense there is a subsets A and B such that A and B are sets and A is a subset of B. So this is the relation which is defined here. R is equal to set of A comma B such that A and B are sets. A is a subset of B. First of all, let's check the reflexiveness. As we know that every set is a subset of itself. We have learned in the set theory, every set is a subset of itself. So A is a subset of A itself. Means A is a subset of B means A is related to B here. So A is a subset of A itself means A comma A element of R. A and A are related. Therefore R is reflexive. Next is for checking the symmetric. A or B implies A is a subset of B. But here B is not a subset of A. Why? In the sense, let's take an example. Here let A is equal to set 1 and B is equal to set 1 comma 2. Here when you check, A is having one element and B is having two elements, and all the elements in A is the member of B, means all the elements of A are having in B also. Here A is having 1, B is also having 1, means we can say as all the elements of A are in B, A is a subset of B. But when you consider B, here 1 and 2 are there, but here the 2 is not an element of A here. That means all the elements of B are not in A. As I said before, 2 is not an element of A. That means B is not a subset of A, or simply we can say B subset of A is not true. So here A is a subset of B, but B is not a subset of A. That means B is not related to A. So therefore R is not symmetric. Here itself we can conclude whether it is an equivalence relation or not. That is what the question. So it is not an equivalence relation because it is not symmetric. But here again we will check the transitivity also. Checking the transitiveness here, A comma B element of R and B comma C element of R means A is a subset of B as well as B is a subset of C. So A is a subset of B and B is a subset of C means clearly we can say that A is a subset of C as well. So like here you can take just an example and check if you are having difficulty to understand here. So if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of C means surely A will be the subset of C. So here A comma C element of R we can conclude. Again we can write the statement, if A comma B element of R, B comma C element of R, then A comma C element of R. Therefore R is transitive. So here R is reflexive, transitive but not symmetric. So here R is reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. That is what conclusion we have to write. Next we shall discuss question number 10. Find the number of all onto functions from the set 1, 2, 3 etc. to n to itself. Here we are asked to find out onto functions. Onto function means, as per the definition, codomain is equal to range, means all the elements in the codomain is having pre-images in the domain. So here 1, 2, 3 etc. to n is related to itself. That is what the question. We are asked to find out the number of all onto functions. How many onto functions we can make? It is quite clear. The number of onto functions is n factorial. So these 1, 2, 3 etc. up to n can related to 1, 2, 3 etc. up to n means to itself by n factorial ways. So total number of onto functions is equal to n factorial means n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into etc. up to 1. That means equal to n factorial. Question number 11. Let S is equal to set of A comma B comma C and T is equal to set of 1, 2, 3. Find f inverse of the following functions f from S to T if it exists. So inverse you have to find out if it is existing. So the given functions are there. F is equal to set of A3 B2 C1 and second one f is equal to set of A2 B1 C1. Here we are asked to find out f inverse. So let's calculate the given functions. S is equal to A comma B comma C and T is equal to 1, 2, 3 we have written, and f is given to us A comma 3 B comma 2 C comma 1. First of all we have to check whether inverse exists or not. So here every f of A is 3, f of B is equal to 2 and f of C is equal to 1. F of A is 3. If you give input B we will get the image as 2, and if you give input C we will get the image as 1, means all are having unique images. So inverse exists. F inverse means just reverse it, that's all. Here A comma 3 means here you can write 3 comma A. Here b comma 2 means you can write it as 2 comma b. And here c comma 1 means we can write it as 1 comma c. F inverse we have written. Now the second one, a2 b1 c1. But here you can check there is a problem. The inverse is not existing here because both are having same image. F of b is 1, f of c is also 1. So inverse does not exist. So directly we can write, since f of b is equal to 1, f of c is equal to 1, we can say that the inverse does not exist because f is not 1 1. So here f is not invertible, we can conclude. Next we shall discuss question number 15. Let a is equal to set -1 0 1 2 and b is equal to set -4 -2 0 comma 2 and f comma g such that a to b be functions defined by f of x is equal to x square minus x, x element of a, and g of x is equal to 2 into modulus of x minus 1 by 2 minus 1, x element of a, or f and g are equal. Justify your answer. So here two functions, one is f of x and another one is g of x is given. Two set of values, set a and set b also given to us. We have to check whether f and g are equal. Here equal functions, we know the definition. Functions f and g are equal if f of a is equal to f g of a. If you substitute a for f and if you substitute a for g, both should get the same value. Then we can say that the two functions f and g are equal. So here let's check. First of all, f of -1. f of -1 means in f function we put we just remove x and put -1. That is -1 the whole square minus -1. Here it is x square minus x. So x is removed and put -1. -1 the whole square minus of -1. That is -1 whole square is 1. Minus into minus is plus. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So f of -1 we have got 2. Next we have to put the same thing, g of -1. So when you put g of -1, here the g of x function is given to us 2 into mod x minus 1 by 2 minus 1. So just remove x and put -1. So 2 into modulus of -1 minus 1 by 2 minus 1. Just a normal calculation only, that is 2 into, when you do the calculation inside the modulus, 2 into -1 -2, -2 minus 1 is -3 divided by 2. So 2 into mod -3 by 2 minus 1. Hope the calculation is clear here. That is equal to mod -3 by 2 is 3 by 2. So 2 into 3 by 2 minus 1. Here 2 cancel. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So this much step is not necessary to calculate. You can just do it together. Mental calculations, if you do, it will be easy. The next is f of 0. Next input we are taking from 0. 0 square, x square minus x, that is 0 square minus 0, that is equal to 0. Next is g of 0. If you put 2 into, remove x and put 0, 0 minus 1 by 2 minus 1, that is equal to 2 into, this calculation will come as minus 1 by 2, mod minus 1 by 2 will come as 1 by 2. So 2 into 1 by 2 minus 1, here 2 cancel, 1 minus 1 will be 0. Next is f of 1. If you put 1 here, input, again 1 square minus 1, that is equal to 0. And next is g of 1. If you take g of 1, that is just remove x and put 1. So 1 minus 1 by 2 minus 1, that is equal to, when you do the calculation, I am not explaining here much, you know how to do the calculation. So finally you will get as 2 into 1 by 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1 minus 1, will be getting as 0. Next is f of 2. f of 2 is, here remove x and put 2. 2 square minus 2, that is equal to 4 minus 2, that is equal to 2. Next is g of 2. Remove x and put 2 here. The 2 into 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1. That is 3 by 2 will be coming when you do the calculation here. So final answer will be getting as 2. Since f of a is equal to g of a for all a element of a, minus 1 0 1 2. When you consider this set, we are getting f of a is equal to g of a. Therefore the functions f and g are equal. Next we shall discuss question number 16. It is a multiple choice question. Let a is equal to set 1 2 3. Then number of relations containing 1 2 and 1 3 which are reflexive and symmetric but not transitive is. Here how many number of relations we can make by including 1 2 and 1 3. The set is given to us. A is equal to 1 2 3. Here options are given. Option A is 1, option B is 2, option C is 3, and option D is 4. So let's try to write the number of relations. So first of all, the smallest relation containing 1, 2 and 1, 3. Smallest relation means smallest number of elements which include a particular relation, that is R is equal to 1, 1. We can take 2, 2 and 3, 3. So these three we have included because the relation must be reflexive. Then next is symmetric. Next it should be symmetric and it should not be transitive. So we have included 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Then next is 1, 2 we have included. 1, 2 we have included. Then 1, 3 we have included. Then 2, 1 and 3, 1. So these are the number of elements we have included. Then let's check whether this relation is satisfying the given conditions. First of all, it is reflexive and symmetric but not transitive. So relation R is reflexive because, as I said before, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, all elements are there, so it is reflexive. And relation R is symmetric because 1, 2, and here it is compulsory that 1, 2 and 1, 3 must have here. So 1, 2 is there means 2, 1 also should be there. So here 2, 1 is there. And 1, 3 is there means 3, 1 also must be there. So 3, 1 is here. So since 1, 2, 2, 1 and 1, 3, 3, 1 element of R, therefore it is symmetric. And the relation R is not transitive because here you can see 3, 1 is an element and 1, 2 is an element. 3, 1, 1, 2 is an element means 3, 2 must be an element. So but 3, 2 is not here. We have not included in this relation 3, 2. So 3, 2 not an element of R. Therefore we can say that the relation is not transitive. So the total number of desired relations is 1. So from here we can write only one relation. So the answer, first correct answer is option A. Next we shall discuss question number 17. Let A is equal to set to 1, 2, 3. Then number of equivalence relations containing 1, 2 is, first option is 1, second option 2, third option 3, fourth option is 4. So here there is a set 1, 2, 3 is given. We are asked to find out the number of equivalence relations containing this element. The relation whatever you are writing, it should contain this 1, 2 element. First of all, total possible pairs. Here A set A is 1, 2, 3 is given. Let's write A cross A first. That is the possible pairs maximum. That is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. The next is 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Next is 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. So this is the maximum possible pairs, or across A we can say. Then reflexive means all, since the set is 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 must be there. So when you are writing a relation, all these three elements must be there first of all. Then symmetric, this 1, 2 is must in the set, in the relation. So 1, 2 is there means 2, 1 also should be there. Then only the relation will be symmetric because we need an equivalence relation. Next, transitive means, of course, 1, 2 already we have taken, 2, 1 also already we have taken. So 1, 2 and 2, 1. 1, 2 is a compulsory element. Since 1, 2 we have included, 2, 1 also must be there. Then only it will be symmetric. Then 1, 2, 2, 1 is there means for transitiveness 1, 2, 2, 1. That means 1, 1, A, C. So 1, 1 also must be in relation. 1, 1 already we have included. So by collecting all these points, we can write an equivalence relation because we have checked the reflexiveness, symmetric and transitivity. So relation R1 is equal to, first of all 1, 2 we have taken, that is our compulsory element. Next to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Next element is 2, 1. So by including all these elements, we have taken the first relation. Next, we have written this across A here, and from here the highlighted ones already we have taken. 1, 1 we have taken, 1, 2 we have taken, that is here. 1, 2 we have taken. Next 2, 1 we have taken, that is this one. Then 2, 2 we have taken, that is here. Then finally 3, 3 also we have taken. So not highlighted ones, that means 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 2 are the balance. So we have to check whether by including these points we can write any more relations, equivalence relation or not. Let's check. So if we add 2, 3, for example, one element 2, 3, if you take 2, 3 adding means 3, 2 also must be there. Then only the relation will be If you add 2 3, then 3 2 also should be. That means I have highlighted that 2 here in this set, and then only we can say that the relation is symmetric. Means 2 3, if you take 3 2 also must be there. A comma b element of R means b comma a also element of R means if you take 3 2, you have to take 2 3 also. Then 1 2 and 2 3 are there in the equation. So 1 2 and 2 3 are there means we need to add 1 3. Here 1 2 1 2, this is 1 2 already we have included in the previous relation also, and 2 3 it is here already we have taken. So 1 2 2 3, if you include 1 comma 3 also must be there, then only it will be transitive. So 1 3 we can take, then it will be transitive if you include 1 3. The next is, as we are adding 1 3, we have taken 1 3 here, we have only one element left, that is 3 1. We didn't take it so far. So if you take 3 1, then it will be symmetric as well. So 1 3 we have one included here. Since 1 3 is included, 3 1 also must be there, then only the relation will be symmetric again. So the relation R2 means all the elements we have taken now. Across all the elements we have taken 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 3 3 2 3 3 2 1 3 and 3 1. If you write in the same order what it is written here, that way also no problem. And this ordered where without a particular order also it's not a problem. Whichever way you write, it's fine. So the same elements only, these elements only we have included here. So this is the second relation R2. Second relation, while taking itself, we have got the maximum number of elements which were there in A cross A itself. So it is not possible again to include or exclude. So the maximum here, the number of equivalence relation containing 1 2 is, we have made two R1 and R2, two relations. So only two possible relations which are equivalence. So the correct answer option is B. B is the correct answer. So next question is question number 18. That question you will try it as homework. Dear students, today we have discussed the remaining questions from the miscellaneous exercise from the chapter Relations and Functions. I request all the students to go through this video and solve the given questions independently, and while solving, if you have any doubt, please note it and keep. We will discuss it during the discussion session. Thank you for watching.